Hello friends, today's topic is what is the definition of rape in India according to Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Why conviction in rape cases in India is so much low when compared with the developed countries of the world. My lesson plan includes why it is in the news, what is the definition of rape in India as per the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, what is an attempted rape, how it is different from the actual rape, why conviction is so much poor in India, how the conviction rate in India can be raised, way forward, and finally conclusion. Hello friends, the Supreme Court of India on 26th March 2025 state on the verdict of Allahabad High Court which was delivered on 17th March, which ordered that grabbing the breasts of a girl or woman and breaking the strings of pajama do not constitute the attempted rape, and so the Supreme Court took suo motu cognizance of the order passed by the single bench Allahabad High Court. Friends, as you know that this instant case is related to the district Kasganj of UP, in which on 10th November 2021 a minor girl was forcibly taken to the culvert. Her breasts were grabbed by these accused and the strings of pajama were broken, but the minor girl screamed and shouted for help, and so the passerby came to her rescue, and so both the accused fled away. Thus, there was non-completion of the occurrence of rape. The mother of the victim, minor girl, approached the POSCO court at Kasganj in UP, whereby the special court issued summons to the accused. The accused filed revision petition before Allahabad High Court, and the single bench of the Allahabad High Court gave verdict on 17th March, whereby it repudiated the attempted rape and said the case should be tried under outraging the modesty of the girl and not under attempted rape. Friends, as you know that under section 63 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, the definition of rape has now been very much broadened, so much so that it is not only the penetration of penis into the private part of a girl or a woman to constitute a rape, but also the manipulation and the insertion of any other object in addition to penis may constitute rape. Even the oral sex is also comes under the definition of rape. It is not only the private part or vagina, but also the urethra or anus or any other part of her body that is being inserted or penetrated by a man would constitute under the definition of rape, provided that the act must have been done against the will of the girl oblique woman without the consent of the victim, with consent when the consent has been obtained by the man or the accused by threatening to kill her or to cause injury to her or to the person to whom she is interested, and consent has been obtained under misconception when she thinks that the man is her husband, but actually he is not her husband. So the consent has been taken under misrepresentation of the fact. When a woman or a girl has given her consent because she doesn't understand the consequences of the act on account of intoxication and unsoundness of her mind, or for any other reason, when the consent has been obtained from a minor girl, friends, as you know that consent or no consent is immaterial when a girl is below 18 years of age. Friends, as you know that there are two exceptions of this definition. First, a medical examination or intervention of the private part of a woman or a girl doesn't constitute rape. Secondly, the sexual acts or intercourse by a man with his wife who is not below 18 years doesn't constitute rape. For example, if a man forcibly have sexual acts with her wife who is above 20 years of age or more than 18 years of age, the act would not constitute as a rape. So friends, you see that in our country, the definition of rape is gender specific. It is not gender neutral. So much so that if a rape is committed upon man or upon transgender by woman or a group of women, in India, there is no such law. Secondly, there must be some penetration on the private part like vagina or urethra or anus or any other part of the body of a woman by the penis. So, penetration is must in either way. If this doesn't happen, then this case will be tried under sexual harassment, not under the clause of rape. The consent must be free, voluntary and informed. Any coercion, misrepresentation or incapacity do not constitute consent on the part of the victim, girl or woman. Further, the age is most important in the definition of rape. For example, if the consent has been obtained from a girl who is below 18 years of age, this consent is illegal, and so even if consent has been given by the minor girl, would constitute under the definition of rape in India. Another feature of the definition of rape is that there is the provision of enhancement of punishment in matters relating to gang rape or rape with minor girl. Similarly, rape of a girl or a woman by a police officer or the management staff of the hospital, remand home, or teacher, guardian or relative of the woman or girl under whose control or dominance she is living. Now there is a provision of rigorous punishment for not less than 20 years, which may extend to life imprisonment, fine and both. And now the question is, what is attempted rape? As you know that there are 4 stages of the commission of crime. First is intention or mens rea. Second is preparation. Third is attempt. And the fourth is completion. Mere intention or mens rea is not a crime. Secondly, even preparation is not a crime provided that there must be some provision in the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. For example, only in 2 cases there is a provision for the punishment for the preparation of dacoity or preparation for terrorist activities. The third stage is attempt, and in Bharatiya Samhita there are certain sections where there is explicit provision for attempted crime and the consequent punishment, but where there is no explicit provision. Now it is provided in section 62 of Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Previously it was under section 511 of Indian Penal Code. So in cases where there has been attempt to commit crime, the provision is that the punishment would be the half of the total amount of punishment given in the commission of that crime. For example, in simple rape cases, there is a provision for 10 years rigorous punishment, and so for attempted rape, the punishment would be the half, that is 5 years. But if there is an attempted rape by gangs or attempted rape on minor, And since the punishment for that offense is not less than 20 years, so the punishment for attempted rape on minor girl or gang rape would be not less than 10 years. So now, what is attempted rape? Friends, as you know that 3 important ingredients are to be fulfilled. First is the intention, that is mens rea. Second is the preparation to commit rape upon a girl or woman. The third is the act must not be completed on account of resistance by the victim girl or woman, or voluntary withdrawal by the accused, fleeing away of victim girl or woman from the clutches of the accused, or the help provided by passerby people to the victim may have helped accused to flee away from the scene of crime when they were about to rape that girl. In the instant case, the girl was dragged from the road and taken away to culvert, and then her strings of pajama were broken. So the preparation to commit rape was complete. It is another thing that act was not completed on account of interruption by passerby people who came to our rescue. And so this case will fall under the category of attempted rape. Friends, as you know, under section 120 of Bharatiya Sakshya Adhiniyam, the burden of proof is upon the accused, who will have to prove the previous agreement between him and the victim girl, the prior relationship between them, to rebut the presumption. Otherwise, it would be presumed by the court that no consent was given by the victim girl or woman. If she tells the court that she has not consented to the sexual intercourse by the accused, friends, as you know that once the crime of rape has been committed, the case must be registered at the nearest police station. If the place of occurrence doesn't fall under the jurisdiction of the police station, that case may be registered under 0, and then it should be transferred to the nearest police station having jurisdiction to investigate the case. Friends, as you know that the rape case is a cognizable offense and no police officer can deny to register the case, failing which the erring police officer will have to face departmental proceedings. The identity of the victim must be protected under section 72 of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita. The most important thing is to collect physical evidence from the scene of crime so that these evidence should not get destroyed. The investigating officer should collect physical evidence like clothes, semen, blood, hair, and take photographs of the scene of crime or any sign of a struggle, if any. The forensic expert should be called in to inspect the scene of crime so that it will be helpful for collection, sealing, and leveling of all physical and biological evidence. The victim should be medically examined. Her consent should be obtained before the examination. The bruises marks, struggle marks on her body or on her private parts should be clearly written in the report. Blood samples should also be collected in order to ascertain whether she had been intoxicated or not before the commission of the crime. Two fingers test has been completely prohibited by the Supreme Court. It is necessary that the investigation of rape should be conducted by the female police officer. If the police identifies the accused must be arrested and he must be medically examined. The statement of accused should be taken. The confession made by the accused before the police officer is not admissible in the court unless recorded by magistrate under 186 BNSS. Once the investigation is complete, the station house officer makes the charge sheet and produce it in the court of law. If the accused in the custody, the charge sheet must be produced within 90 days in an offense punishable with death or imprisonment of life or having more than 10 years of punishment. In other cases, the charge sheet must be filed in the court within 60 days. Friends, why conviction rate in the rape cases in India is so much poor when compared with the developed countries of the world? According to NCRB, the conviction rate in India was 27 to 28% between 2018 to 2022. In the UK, it was more than 60%. In Canada, it was 42%. Important reasons for poor convictions are judge to population ratio in India is 21 judges per million against 120 judges per million in the US. Prolonged trials in India causes degradation of evidence, witness fatigue, and victims turning hostile during the process of trial. Police in India is very much overburdened, so much so that 151 police personnel are available for 1 lakh population, whereas in the UK, 225 police personnel are available for 1 lakh population. India has fewer forensic labs when compared with developed countries of the world. It causes delay in forensic examination and DNA analysis because of the cultural stigma and because most of the rape cases are committed by relatives, acquaintances, friends in India, and so pressure is too much mounted upon the victim girl or woman, resulting into turning her hostile during the process of trial, and so this results into 90% acquittal. Further, delay in registering FIR causes destruction of physical evidences. This is also the major factor for having less conviction rate in India in matters relating to rape cases. How conviction rates can be raised in India? Number one, the police officers must be sensitized in matters relating to rape cases, increasing forensic labs for the quick disposal and for the examination of physical and biological evidences, ensuring fast completion of trials in rape cases, probably within 90 days, increasing the number of judges from the present 21 to 50 per million, providing mobile medical units in rural areas, offering legal aid, counseling and protection to witnesses in every district, swift compensations to be provided to victim girls or women, installation of CCTV cameras in big and small cities and Kasbah, launching awareness campaigns among youths of India, formation of women's safety committees to be linked with police helplines, swift disposal of cases relating to rape cases so that victim or witnesses should not get ample time to turn hostile during the trial. Now friends, what are ways forward? Modernization of police, sensitization of police force at the lower level, scaling of fast-track courts, increasing forensic capacity, strengthening victim support, shifting societal attitudes towards rape cases, leveraging technology and data collection and crime mapping, ensuring witness protection, forming women's safety committees at workplaces would go a long way in curtailing or reducing the incidences of rapes in India. Friends, new provisions of Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita from section 63 to 72 would be very much helpful in controlling and mitigating the incidents of rape cases in India. Friends, as you know that most of the rape cases are committed in India by relatives, guardians, acquaintances, friends of victim girl and woman. So the provision of enhanced punishment to these people would act as a deterrent effect upon them. Similarly, according to section 69, the sexual intercourse on the false promise of marriage would attract severe punishment to the accused. It has also been provided that in matters relating to rape upon minor below 12 years of age would have not less than 20 years of rigorous punishment. And so these harsh punishment laws with regard to rape cases will go a long way in mitigating the occurrences of rape cases in India. Friends, now I conclude my lecture. If you have any suggestion, just give me a feedback. Thank you very much.